I don't like the fact that, there's been a big flooding issue for the last, 5, 6 years. I mean, don't get me wrong, there've been flooding for generations and decades. I'm not saying that. But it seems like, all of a sudden now we're flooding 4 out of the last 5 years. And why is that? Personally, some people may agree, some people may not agree. But I personally agree that a lot of it has to do with the irresponsible development. And, you can't argue with the fact that we're developing, and then coincidentally we're also flooding at the same time. If we're putting more impervious houses, concrete, if you're covering the ground that's supposed to be soaking up the water with roofs and concrete, well, the water's got to go somewhere. And that water going somewhere is just piling over and piling over and piling over. To make sure that the development is being done responsibly. And when I say responsibly, not just, you need to be able to not only maintain your own rainwater as well, but you also need to make sure that you're not infringing on your neighbor with your rainwater, because you're built up higher and it's just going to flow down. But you also need to make sure you're not infringing on your neighbors 10, 15, 20, 30 miles down the road. A development out on 90 or 905 is still going to have an impact on the people that are in Rosewood and Socastee and in my district. It's not their fault. I've heard people say that, oh, you should know better when you live on the water. Well, you know what? It wasn't a problem to know better when it was 2000, 2005, 1995, 1985, when a lot of these houses were going up. And okay, yeah, you take a risk, you flood, maybe, you're flooding once every 20 years. Okay, I understand you're taking that risk. But nobody bought knowing that the risk was going to be to flood 4 out of 5 times in the last 5 years because of something that is not their fault. And if we caused it, we need to be responsible to help them get the help they need and to stop causing more future floods. Don't let them build in marshlands and wetlands where we know it's going to flood. Don't let them build and clear cut and get rid of everything that is going to help disperse the rain and the water flow. We need to help the people that have been flooded, and we need to help them financially, and we need to help them with our future land use projects. It happens, and the developers are mad because they wanted to put 200 homes on that 100-acre lot, and they got to try to find a way to combine 200 homes into 50 acres. Now you're putting quarter-acre postage stamp size lots out there. It's not going to float. We're not going to allow it. But there's a lot of realtors that believe in impact fees and believe in implementing them. Now, how we implement those impact fees or what we charge for the impact fees is a whole nother discussion. For somebody to come out there and say, oh, well, this shouldn't be used as a deterrent to stop people from moving here. The impact fees should be something that we're using to help fix what's already wrong or what has already been found out that is wrong, and B, make sure that we're doing things properly when it comes to infrastructure, public safety, things like that. Okay, let's say in the next 20 years, and we know this isn't the number, but let's say in the next 20 years, we're only going to build 100,000 houses. That's only 5,000 a year. We know it's going to be a lot more than that. So let's say it's 10,000, because that's pretty much what we're averaging. We're averaging about 10,000 homes a year from all this new development that's going on. So if we got 10,000 houses over the next 10 years, not even 20, just over the next 10 years, and we put a $5,000 impact fee on those 100,000 houses, that's $500 million to get used for public safety. We need new fire departments. We need new police departments. We need better roads. We need to fix some of our infrastructure. We need to use some of that money to help with waterway issues, to help with flooding, to help make sure that we're not making the same mistakes and compounding the mistakes that we know that we already made. Whether they were intentional or not, they were made and they still need to be fixed.